This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Richard Conroy, the chairman of Conroy Gold, is back again. Hi, Richard. How are you? It's good to be talking.
And with you, Mark, indeed, it's a good day for us. So we have now a comfortable financial position, having done a financing of $2.25 million. So it's we're very happy with it. That provides us with the necessary cash for the ongoing program and coming to the final agreement with our colleagues in DEMA Expert. And it also provides the cash for getting on with the very promising program that we were discussing the other day, a very promising program for copper and gold in Finland. So it's very pleasant. We're delighted at the response, which is a very, very good response. So I'm very happy. Thank you.
Good. Yes, it's a considerable amount of money. And I just want to focus on the company for a moment. The company's valued at about £11 million. You've got 500,000 ounces of a JORC resource. So how do you move that up? Do you plan to do further drilling, infill drilling? What's the plan to build on what you've got?
Well, the plan to build on what we got is in conjunction with our new joint venture partner, DEMA Export, will be to go ahead with a drilling program, both to infill that resource that we have there, but also to expand it. The Clontarf resource itself, that 500,000 that you've mentioned, that covers less than 25% of the Clontarf target and is only down to a depth of about 200 meters. So it's clearly but a small proportion of the overall Clontarf gold target. So we would anticipate it in conjunction with our colleagues to substantially increase that resource over the coming months. So it's very exciting and very, very nice.
Okay, that's good. And in the past, you've likened the project to the Fosterville mine in terms of the geology and what you think is there. Of course, you've raised all this money. Do you think the market's perhaps missing a trick here?
I don't think so. I think the market are beginning to realize the huge potential of what we've discovered. It's taken a very long time to do it, and major discoveries very often do require the geologists and all the others, the painstaking work on the ground, and then the exploration drilling and all the rest of it. But when you get to this stage, and it's a pretty good position to be in, because not only have we got the Clontarf resource with, as you say, 500,000 JORC resource there already, and obviously potential for very considerably more around Clontarf. But one of the reasons why we spent a number of years and time over this was we were looking for something very major. And of course, what we've discovered, and since we worked at it steadily over the years, we have 100% of it, is a 65-kilometer long gold trend. And we already, as you know, have a series of quite major targets along that trend. The Clay Lake target, for example, in surface extent is far larger than Clontarf. The Glennish target down to the southwest, immediate southwest of Clontarf, is also a very large target, and indeed we had some nice results from there, which we announced quite recently. And then it goes on down through Rockcarry and on to Slieve Gla. There are a whole series of targets. And one of the great attractions of the new joint venture partner coming in with us is that they have the technical ability. They're a very large mining company in Turkey, extending all the way across far beyond gold to base metals and so on. So they have the technical resources. They also have the desire to develop this and also to work together, time of the essence. And they have immense financial resources. So they're there with us to develop property, very extensive property, it's 800 square kilometers, with several gold targets along that property. And this is a quite unique situation, which I think the market are just beginning to realize. One, there's the immediate potential of Clontibbert, and that might be the situation with a very fortunate, and we've been fortunate, company, a small company which discovers a deposit, and then its fortunes change and so on, and it makes a very big difference. But we've got far more than that, in that we've got the entire area. Usually, when a new district scale gold province or mineral province of any sort is discovered, there are usually several small, perhaps some large companies involved in it. We're in the unique position because people didn't realize the potential of Ireland for gold, just as they didn't fully realize when we discovered Galmoy, until we did discover the potential for Ireland for zinc. Well, we did, and thought, could this be a trend? And it's turned out to be that, with a whole series of targets along it. And since we did all the work, we have 100% of it, which we're now obviously very happy to share with our joint venture partner. But it leaves us in a very unique position. We've not only discovered one gold deposit, but we have the potential for a series of them. And I think the market, naturally, it's a unique situation. It's been a long time taking that on board. But I think they really are now taking it on board. And certainly the enthusiasm for this fundraising, which was done not at a discount, but at the mid-market price, was very pleased with it. But it does put us into a position in which for quite a considerable time ahead, we won't be in need of funds, because we'll be working with our joint venture partner, other than we think there's a possibility of another very interesting situation out in Finland, very prospective for gold, but also I think there'll be an increasing demand for copper over the coming years. And so to have a combined copper-gold prospect, and a really good one, is quite exciting. But of course, our main emphasis will be on the huge potential that we have in the Longford Down Massif and Clontibbert and Clay Lake and Glenish and Slieve La and Rockcurry and all the other targets. So we're feeling very, very happy, I must say. I'm very excited. And I must say the promise on both sides that time would be of the essence. Our partners are very much working to that, moving immediately. We'd signed off on the letter, and so COVID is obviously a delay on everyone. But even that, I think, with vaccinations and so on, is beginning to come into some sort of control. So I can see a lot of progress, and a lot of progress quite quickly, I would hope.
Okay, good. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps the market is starting to pick up. You mentioned there about the enthusiasm for the raise, and just looking back at the last raise, that was for, I think, about 800,000. It was at a lower share price. You've done this time 2.25 million, and at a higher share price. So does this put you now in a position of comfort for quite a while?
It does indeed, an absolute comfort financially now for quite a while ahead.
Okay.
So it's a very, very satisfactory position to be in.
Okay. And on DeMere Export, then, your new joint venture partner, how much does DeMere unlock your business, and how key is the relationship between the two parties?
The relationship, I must say, we found them very good to work with indeed, and keeping, when they say something, they mean it, and they do it on time. So it's been, I must say, a very good relationship.
Okay.
But as from the point of view of actually unlocking the potential, we obviously, although it was tough and difficult at times, we managed to do all the exploration that was necessary, the tens of thousands of soil samples, the drilling, the trenching, and all the rest of it, and still hold the entire property. So it was quite a challenge, but it succeeded and was well worth it in the end. But clearly, for the sort of potential that's out there, you need somebody, obviously with the technical know-how, but also with pretty large pockets to be able to develop things in the manner in which they required to be developed and will need to be developed. We're looking now probably at even in the Glenish, Clontarf, Clay Lake area, we're possibly looking at something around about something over 9-10 million ounces of gold. So there's going to be a lot of work on that, a very large return as well, obviously. But it is a really big project, and that's why we're so particularly pleased that Deemer Export came to us, and that we have this joint venture going ahead with them. So,
okay, but you're both cracking on, and you feel you can both work well together.
Absolutely, and they were on the day after we signed off on the letter of intent. The following day, they were on suggesting a meeting on the following Wednesday. So really moving ahead very expeditiously. We both realize the tremendous opportunity that's there, and let's get on with it now that we're in a position. They have the technical know-how and they have the finance, and we, of course, have the experience and local knowledge and all the rest of it. So I think it could be a very, very profitable partnership and could be a very good one. In fact, in many ways, as you know, at the York conference, at the PDAC conference last year, we had a lot of interest, and indeed many parties were unable to come and visit us because of the COVID. So a lot of interest out there, but probably in actual fact, it's worked out very well for us because these people, as I say, they have the money and they have the interest and they have the technical know-how. Whereas if we'd done a joint venture with one of the major companies that were interested, the really big ones, one might well have found oneself from a timetable point of view of getting on with it, perhaps put down for sort of 3 years or 5 years ahead or something like this. Whereas with Deemer Export, we're getting on with it right away. So that's very important, very promising, and very good.
Okay. And news flow is, of course, very important for investors and shareholders. It's vital, really. Are you now in a position to be able to commit to a regular flow of news, do you think?
I think we'll be having a lot of news coming out because there'll be a lot of drilling to do, a lot of results coming in, a lot of progress being made. So I can see a steady flow of news flow. Now, we have given news flow before, but I think quite honestly, people did not realize as we announced successive drilling exploration successes, they didn't realize the sheer scale of what it was that we were gradually outlining. I think even in the industry, in fairness, it was only last March, 12 months ago today almost, that the industry really suddenly took on board. This could be something quite major. This is an entire new district scale gold trend. So you can't blame the market as it were, but we did announce the results. We did have news releases coming out. I think, understandably, perhaps people didn't fully realize or take on board the significance of them. And we've had that before when we made our discovery at Galmoy and so on. For quite a while, news was out there, but people didn't fully take it on board, even though in actual fact it was a major discovery, turned into a major zinc mine. Other zinc mines followed it, and Ireland is now an international zinc province. And I think I can certainly see a lot more work being done on gold in Ireland in the coming years. But as it so happens, we're in the unique position of having locked up certainly one of the probably major gold prospects in Ireland or in the world for that matter. It's a very good prospect with tremendous potential.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Richard Conroy, the chairman of Conroy Gold. Thank you for talking to me.
Good to talk with you, Mark, and we'll look forward to talking more as we go along.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.